Hello everyone, this is Bridget from empowermefirst.college. In this lesson, you will discuss why it is important to have the correct spelling in your writing. You will then discuss some tips to be sure you are using the correct spelling. Now look at this picture. If you stopped to eat and the restaurant's display read 2 for 1, that is tea with double O, would you hesitate a little before eating there, I wonder? How many times have you received a text or email and stopped at a spelling error? What did you think about the error? Did your opinion change about the author? Let's think of an example. You are writing a letter of application to a future employer. Do you think he will invite you to an interview if it was full of spelling errors? Pause the video and discuss this question. The answer is no. He will not invite you because he thinks you are either not educated enough or you are lazy and wouldn't look through your text before sending it. After all, you wouldn't turn up to an interview wearing a dirty old t-shirt either, would you? We are all guilty of making spelling errors. Perhaps it is that we are rushing through our work, or it could be that we do not take the time proofreading our writing. However, it is important that we take the time to do this. Let's take a look at some tips to avoid spelling errors and how to correct them, so it will be easier to avoid making these errors in our writing. The ability to communicate is a necessary skill in any career, and one of the most common ways is through writing. As we write, we are sending a message to our audience and we want it to be clear. We want our audience to feel connected to the topic and to us. If spelling errors are present in your writing, the audience will be distracted and miss your point. Your writing creates an impression with your audience. You want them to feel that you have taken the time to review, proofread, and edit the work before submitting it or sending it to them. If you fail to do so, you may leave your audience with the impression that you simply don't care. Finally, when you finish school, you will be looking for a career. It is important that you have an error-free resume which requires the ability to spell correctly. Now let's look at some spelling rules for plural nouns. In general, the plural of a noun is formed by adding an S to the noun, like car, cars, pencil, pencils, house, houses. For nouns that have sounds like s, sh, ch, and so on, add an es to the noun so we can actually hear that it's a plural, like fox, foxes, quiz, quizzes, match, matches, wish, wishes. Also note that sometimes you have to double the consonant, like in quiz. If the noun ends in a consonant plus O, we normally add es to the noun, like hero, heroes, potato, potatoes, tomato, tomatoes, echo, echoes. There are some exceptions like piano, hello, and photo. Those nouns ending in a vowel plus y, we add an s to the noun, like guy, guys, holiday, holidays, key, keys, boys, boys. The nouns ending in a consonant plus y, you just remove the y and add ies, like city, cities, story, stories, lady, ladies. When nouns end in an f or fe, we remove the f or fe and add ves, like wife, wives, leaf, leaves, thief, thieves. There are some exceptions, for instance, chef, chefs, cliff, cliffs, roof, roofs, believe, beliefs. When nouns end in an f or fe, we remove the f, fe and add ves, like wife, wives, leaf, leaves, thief, thieves. There are some exceptions, like cliff, cliffs, chef, chefs, roof, roofs, and believe, beliefs. There are a number of nouns that are irregular, and you need to learn them individually because they don't normally have an s on the end. For instance, man, man with e, same for woman, women, child, children, foot, feet, tooth, teeth, goose, geese, mouse, mice. There are some nouns in English that are the same in the singular and the plural form, like sheep, deer, fish, aircraft, and mouse. Actually, if you look at the word fish, if you have just several fish of the same kind, for instance, tilapia, we talk about fish. But when we're talking about different kinds of fish, we can say fishes. There are some advanced rules. If the noun ends with is, we change it to es. Words that end in is usually have a Greek root. For instance, crisis, crisis, analysis, analysis, basis, basis. If the noun ends in a us, change it to I. Words that end in a us usually have a Latin root. For instance, syllabus, syllabi, stimulus, stimuli, cactus, cacti, fungus, fungi. Some exceptions are like octopus, octopuses, because it's from Greek, not Latin. Let's look at some spelling rules for prefixes. It is usually placed in front of a base word, usually changes the meaning of the base word. Common prefixes include pre, by, and anti. For example, co plus exist, coexist. Re plus do, redo. Dis plus connect, disconnect. Let's look at some tips. Adding prefixes. Tip 1. The spelling of the base word never changes. Add the prefix to the beginning of the base word, as in the word tri plus cycle, tricycle. Tip 2. Double letters can occur. If you add the prefix un to natural, both the prefix and the base word keep their original spelling, and as a result we have an unnatural with two n's. Other examples where double letters occur include misspell, irregular, or unnoticeable. Tip 3. Some words have the same string of letters as a prefix, but when you look at them closely, you'll find that they are not prefixes. For example, the re in real is not a prefix. Can you think of any? Exactly. Include uncle, pretty, and interest. Now we'll look at some of the guidelines for using suffixes. But what are suffixes? A suffix is defined as a word part that is attached at the end of the word. Some common suffixes include able, means to be able or to include. When the root of the word is comfort, able can be added to make an adjective comfortable. As we saw in the previous slide, a suffix is an extension added to the end of the word stem to change the meaning or function. For example, some suffixes are used to make nouns, verbs, adjectives, or adverbs. In addition, suffixes can also determine the word's part of the speech. Certain suffixes make the base or root word a noun, a verb, an adjective, or even an adverb. For example, look at the base word real, which is an adjective. Add the suffix ity to get reality, which is a noun. Add ize to make it realize, which is a verb. Lastly, add ly to make it really, which is an adverb. Do you see how important suffixes can be? You can improve your spelling in 3 ways. 1, by learning the rules you've just heard about. 2, by reading, especially books and newspaper articles. Take special note of difficult words, maybe even make it into a game by challenging each other in a spelling contest of the difficult words you've seen. 3, when you write, go over your writing and check any word in a dictionary you are not sure about. If you use programs like Word, wrongly spelled words are often underlined. Check the correct spelling from the program. Please be aware that the feedback given to you by the program is not always accurate. You also need to double check if your program is set to British or American English. You can also improve your spelling besides the rules by using the sounds or a dictionary. Now we will look at 3 types of words categorized by spelling and pronunciation. In this lesson, you learn to differentiate between words that sound alike but may be spelled differently. We'll specifically look at homonyms, homographs, and homophones. Sometimes it can be difficult, based on speech alone, to determine how that word will be spelled. For words with similar sounds, knowing the meaning will help you with correct spelling. Homonyms are words with the same spelling and pronunciation, but the terms have different meanings depending on how you use them in a sentence. For example, the noun bear and the verb bear are homonyms. Homo means the same. The root graph means to write, so the definition is same spelling. The key with homographs is that they have different meanings. We can say they are words that are spelled the same but have multiple meanings and sometimes different pronunciations. For example, bow and bow are homographs. Each is spelled the same but has a different definition, which is indicated by the different pronunciation. Bow is a tied loop, and bow is to bend at your waist. Now let's look at homophones. In homophones, homo again means the same and the root phones means sound. So we're talking about homophones being words that have the same pronunciation but different meanings and are sometimes spelled differently. Let's look at a few examples. Tu, tu, tu. Tu with one O means towards or in the direction of. It can also be used with an infinitive. Two with TWO is a number, and two with two O's is a synonym for also or very. Another pair of homophones is write. Write, W-R-I-T-E, means to record words on a paper, and write, R-I-G-H-T, means correct. A final example of homophones are the words do, due, and due. Do indicates performance of a task. Dew is water from the air, usually on grass, and due means a requirement or because of. All of these examples of homophones have the same pronunciation or similar ones. Do or due are slightly different, which means the same sound are pronounced. To ensure proper spelling, you need to know which meaning of the word you want. If you can keep this in mind, then you will properly spell these homophones.